Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy, Nin James, back with another rendition of Crayola Corner. This video will follow along with the answers to the first function question in the Replit. I will copy and paste each question and go through them in their own JS files. This one that we're on is called divisible by 3. So, create a function called divisible by 3 that takes a number as its first argument, console.log true if it's divisible by 3, false if not. Let's see. So nothing in here is confusing for me. I don't know what any of I know what all the words are, so there's nothing I need to look up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with a function. Oh my gosh, a function, and it's gonna be called divisible by 3. And we're going to run this guy here real quick and set up my function. Cool. And it's going to take a number as its argument. So when there's a number, I just pass in num as the argument and let the user or the test deal with whatever is actually going to go in as the parameter. Console log if it's divisible by 3, false if not. Right here, it's telling me that I'm going to need an if statement. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my if statement. My condition is going to be is divisible by 3. And let's go ahead and finish this guy. And I need to, it wants me to console log. So log this guy out, and it wants me to console.log true if this is the case. And let's finish this out. And so if it's not the case, it wants us to console.log false as a false. All right, so let's see if we can get up here and get this to something that JavaScript knows what's going on. So divisible by 3. So if I think about this in terms of JavaScript, I know that if a number is divided by 3 and it returns 1, then it's divisible by 3. Let's go ahead and test this guy out real quick. Control C, Control V, and let's pass it 3 to test. True. Cool. Let me get that out of the way. Awesome, that's true. Let's go ahead and pass it another one here, an even number to make sure that's going to be okay. True, false, and let's comment this out so we don't get that anymore. And let's go ahead and do one more just for the sake of doing one more. False. Okay, so when I plugged in 9 there, what I expected to happen was it was going to return true. So it seems like something is messed up here. So let's go ahead and look at this. See, this is a case where the question is kind of tricky. So immediately you want to jump to something where it's divisible by 3, but 9 divided by 3 is never going to equal 1, right? It's going to equal 3. And if you divide 12 by 3, while that is divisible by 3, it's going to give you 4. So I set out on the wrong path there. What I can do, though, is modulo, right? I can test that the remainder is going to be 3. So num modulo 3 should equal 0. So I kind of want you guys to understand, like, looking at the process, thinking of a plan, carrying out the plan, how there are times where you think you understand the question, but it's tricky, or there were stages of it that you didn't really understand. You know, your first instinct there is to figure out something divisible by 3, but you don't think of all the other use cases, right? And so here's a case where we've looked at something, we didn't get what we expected to get, and now we have to go through and refactor our problem. And now let's think about this. Any number that I put in there, 9 modulo 3, 3 is going to go in there 3 times, so it's going to give me a remainder of 0. This should be true all the way through. So let's go ahead and run back through our code again and just double check these things. That's true. I expect that to be true. I expect this to be false. Oh. Let's save it real quick. Woo! Oh my gosh, forgot to save. Every time with that. People like autosave, but I like not turning on autosave because it reminds me to check like what I'm doing. So when I press enter, I think to myself it's going to be false. And this guy right here, what I expect to happen is going to be true. Cool. So, yay, we did it. So this is kind of a case where you need to pay attention to what you're doing and how problem solving for the sake of problem solving is great. And also there are times where you don't get to the right answer and you get to come back here and say, cool, I carried out my plan. What's wrong here? What didn't I understand? And kind of reevaluate this. And now for the next time, when something's saying divisible by 3, you don't necessarily jump to divide by 3. Maybe you think of modulo. Anyway, on to the next one.